Right. Hello, everyone. So I think we can just get everything started. My name is Frank Calabam. I'm the business development manager here at Beem. So just normally what my work is basically help people and organizations achieve their goals using the Beem APIs and the Beem services. I think also from Beem here we have Tar as well. He'll be speaking. So just briefly want to go through what today's agenda is going to look like. And yeah, so first off, we're going to just do a brief introduction of the winners. We're going to learn about who they are and how they came about the solution. Then we're going to have, I think one of the judges is going to have, it's going to come on the call, and they're going to also discuss about some of the feedback and inputs that they have. And then also some general feedback from Tar. I'll speak about how the submissions, what kind of submissions came by, and also I'm going to speak about the APIs and some changes we've made to the APIs that we have available, and also we're going to speak about the Developer Champion program that we have here at Beem. Yeah, so that's pretty much the agenda. Also, at any time, you're welcome to post a question directly to everyone, or you can post it directly to me if you have a question in the chat box. And if you want to speak, you can also maybe ask to speak in the chat box, and we'll allow you to speak if you have something to say. So yeah, that's pretty much the agenda for today. So first up, I want to introduce one of the Beemathon winners. I think Evans, you're online, yeah? So Evans, I'd like you to just tell us a little bit about yourself, and also maybe explain your solution, how you explain your solution to a 5-year-old, or your idea that you came up with in the Beemathon.
Hello all.
Yes, Evans.
Can you all guys hear me before I begin speaking?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so wait, I have to fix yeah, I go by the name Evans Ganyaga, and luckily enough I became the second winner for the first Beemathon challenge, whereby I developed a mobile application with integration with Beem APIs. And the idea just came out from realizing the challenge that exists in SMEs, small and medium enterprises, whereby I decided to create a platform whereby we'll bridge the existing gap between service providers and people who sell goods online and people who are buying the goods and the service from this particular service provider. So what I identified is I didn't want to first think about something that is so huge. Based on the timeline that was shared, only 3 days, I had to come up with something that tackles a specific problem. And that specific problem in this matter, I figured out is for a business to perform, or for a business to get reputation, it has to build trust. And the problem with the existing platforms, a lot of people sell via Instagram, a lot of people sell via these unofficial channels. But when it comes to the core part, partaking on a transaction, these two people need to trust one another in order to transfer money from one party to another. In this case, from a person who's buying something to a person who's offering something. So I imagined using Instagram, seeing something that I liked, and then from the moment that I want to purchase it, I started now as a customer, I started seeing myself like, hold up, I can't buy this just yet, because first, I don't know if this seller is a legit seller. And second, how can I trust that the thing that I am seeing on the page is the same thing that I will receive? If you've been buying things online, that is one of the problem. So then I said, okay, how can I fix it? The solution to that is Escrow app. So an Escrow application is just a third party, in this case, this system, that will allow two parties who are partaking in a transaction to have an intermediary body which will guarantee the goods or services that are being provided is what the buyer will receive. And once that relationship or once that ecosystem gets invalidated, then the money will be sent back to the buyer. So if a seller is selling, let's say, a shoes on Instagram, and I want to buy it, instead of using the local channels of sending money from my mobile wallet directly to the seller, I will be sending the money to the escrow system with predefined rules. Let's say I will give the seller maybe 1 day maximum to deliver the goods as promised. And also, once the seller, if the seller fulfills the order, then the funds will be released from Escrow app to the seller. And if the seller doesn't meet the deadlines, or if the product is not as advertised, then the money will be reversed from Escrow app back to the buyer. That creates an ecosystem which is built on trust and which lets all parties enjoy making financial transactions and buying things online. So when I was developing this solution, I was more interested on some few APIs that are offered by Beem. I got a chance to use the SMS API, which was some sort of communication between these parties who are partaking in a particular transaction. I also have a look on the disbursement APIs and OTP APIs, which all made this solution possible. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I just wanted. Yeah, I understand. How would you explain the escrow app to a 5-year-old? So let's say I'm just like a 5-year-old kid. How do you explain, like, okay, escrow app does this? Let's say I'm a 5-year-old and I don't understand. How would you explain?
Okay, in a single sentence, escrow app protects your money from being stolen by scam people online who are selling goods or services.
Right. Yeah, that's a very interesting idea. So basically, yeah, okay. So, okay, I also wonder, let's see those on the, maybe I can ask Peter. Peter, you're online. Peter, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and the idea that you submitted.
Hi, Frank.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so my name is Peter Karanja. I'm the CTO of Crew Solutions. And first of all, I'd say thank you for Beem for bringing up this platform and helping developers actually realize their talents and grow as part of a community, which I think is really good for Tanzania as a whole and the developer community as a whole. Helps us grow as a team. So our solution was basically thought out from what happens in offices, where most people actually try and play music from their own speakers, and everyone is trying to play what they want to listen to. So we thought of how we can expand on this and make it, one, bring revenue to smaller businesses, and also how we can fix kind of this stump we are in due to COVID-19, where people are not really trying to socialize as much. So the solution itself is built around a way to socialize with music, but also finding a way of making it safe and making it a way where people can interact even without touching or being close to each other. So basically our solution is called JukePi, and it's meant to turn any sort of social entertainment organization, or maybe bar or restaurant, into a digital jukebox. So its functionality is really simple. You get a chance to just send an SMS to a specified number, and you kind of have an option to request the song that you prefer to listen to. And basically that's it. The song plays through the speakers. So it's a way of people being entertained, listening to what they kind of prefer, and also brings it revenue to restaurant owners or bar owners by having more people join in as they are able to select the songs that they would prefer. We used a few of Beem APIs, but we also ventured out and tried out a few other APIs which were not on Beem. But basically for Beem, we use the check balance. So this can be used to check how much balance is needed. So maybe if you want to send a message or something. Then we also use the send SMS and also the two-way SMS APIs. Outside of Beem, we used Shazam, which is everyone's favorite search engine for music. And we also just had a scraper for music, which tries to search for any song that you might request. In a nutshell, I think that's our platform.
Yeah, so I didn't hear the name properly. You said the name of the music, what is it?
Of the app.
Yes.
We called it JukePi because it runs on a Raspberry Pi and it's a jukebox. So
okay.
Yeah.
JukePi. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else do we have? Okay, Robert, maybe you can also introduce yourself and speak a little bit about your idea. I think Robert is here. Yeah, he's here.
Okay. Hello. I hope you can hear me. Yeah.
Yes, you can hear you.
Okay, sure. My name is Robert Okakol. Currently, I'm a freelance software developer / IT consultant. My application or my idea was just to explain it to a 5-year-old. It's just a simple SMS notification system for package delivery, so that for a sender and a receiver to keep track of where the package is or such a thing. So what we did is, for example, what scenario we took is the bus services that in the country, most of them deal with package delivery. So a situation came up, a friend of mine had been sent a document, but the details of the document weren't sent to him. So it was a struggle, and it was an important document. So it was a struggle for him to know when and where the document will arrive. So the system in itself is just a simple mobile application that for the bus services, once they enter each and every the details of the package, it generates a QR code, which with a mobile application, the person handling the package scans the QR code and updates, and SMSs are sent to the sender and the receiver for each stage of the package as it leaves maybe the bus port and as it arrives to this receiver. The API used with the SMS API, that's in simple terms, that's what my application is about.
Robert, did you use any other APIs outside of Beem's APIs?
No. Just basically it was the Beem APIs.
All right. So yeah, so just has some really interesting ideas with the Escrow app, the Jute Byte, and your name of the app for Robert?
Mzigo.
Mzigo.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name. Yeah. That's a nice. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, another thing I want to ask. Maybe I'll start off with yeah, Robert, since you just spoke. Were there some ideas before, like during the competition, that you thought of doing, and you said like, "I know I'm not going to do this idea," that you dropped when you're doing when you're thinking about an idea for the Beemathon?
No, actually, this was the first idea that came up because the situation, my friend, was just like a week before that he faced that situation. So I was like,
oh, okay.
Will indeed be good. Yeah, it was already on my mind. So I was asking, will it be good for maybe the bus services? Just send SMS that your packages arrive. So I was like, let me try this.
Okay, all right. How about you, Peter? Were there any ideas that you had that maybe you thought that you wanted to submit or you worked on, and then you changed your mind during the Beemathon? Was this one thing that you came in and just did?
We had another idea, which was some sort of application that it's basically a fire suppression system where it can give you notifications in case you're not home and there's some sort of fire emergency. But we felt like that's already there, and some people have already, it's something that is known. And we thought going with the music jukebox was more innovative and interesting and cool to try and present as a challenge.
Yeah, okay, definitely, that makes sense. Evans, were there any ideas that you came up during the Beemathon and you thought maybe this won't work, or that you dropped? I just want to hear about the ideas that didn't come through.
Well, I had the whole premise of the challenge was finding a solution for small and medium enterprises. So my whole ideas were evolving around the same context, whereby I had a few. Actually, I had 3. Then I just narrowed down to Escrow. The first one was creating a marketplace, but using Instagram as the content management system. And the second one was making it easy for people to sell things using WhatsApp or Telegram. And the third one was something that is a Escrow app itself. So I just crashed the 2, and then I was left with Escrow.
Yeah, so so it's really interesting that the ideas you came up, and also definitely the judges thought they were good, and most of you were in the top 3. So I want to find out, like, after the Beemathon, did you get any traction for your app from the support you got from Beem, and also going to the market? Have you had some interesting traction, or it's now just sitting on the server somewhere, just waiting for something to happen? Maybe I could start with the music. What is it, Peter, with the music?
Yeah, Jute Byte. So yeah, we have been actually trying to get this out there. We have been trying to do some sort of market research to see which would be the best way to monetize this and the best way to put it into the market. And we've actually gotten a lot of good feedback out of the people we've talked to, and there's so much interest into this. So we're actually just trying to find a way on how we can put this out in a way that doesn't really affect the small and SMEs, sorry, and also doesn't push the clients away. So we're trying to come in as a middle ground in a way that we're interesting and we're also entertaining at the same time. So it's not just about this platform that just plays music for just any other place. So we're trying to see how we can make this break out in the market in an interesting and fun kind of way.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. How about Robert?
At the moment, okay, actually, I'm trying to implement it onto a company that I support in the IT department. So yeah, so that's my main focus there before maybe trying to push it more. But I want to focus on this company, see how it works, because it's a company that deals with sending packages, spares, or such things. So I'm trying to.
So you're going more of the B2B route. Each business. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Not, yeah.
I see. You're not going to the market. Okay. Who do I meet up? Evans. With the idea, how is it like after the Beemathon when you came up with it, or did you just put it on the shelf, or are you trying to put it into the market? And any challenges you're facing?
So yeah, I after the Beemathon, I just refurbished it. I just made it, polished it. I could actually say I polished it, and an interesting really happened. I was given a chance to pitch my idea to some people, and out of them came an angel investor who is willing to put a lot of money on their cause, and we are actually on incorporating a company solely to do just that and expand on the idea, because people it's an easy concept to understand, and you know, when you deal with these if you're dealing with an investor, and they will always look forward to see if their money they have a return on investment. And with this solution, because it's a transactional based solution, that fee, even though it may seem very small for Escrow to perform, but to an investor, it gives an investor an assurance that whatever I'm investing in will eventually come back. So yeah, I haven't had much struggle, because it just so happened, like, I only pitched it to one person sent me to an angel investor, and angel investor say, like, yes, I'm willing to put money on this. And because it helped, because Beem gave me that platform to explore and create this solution. And then out of this Beemathon, then I came up with a working prototype, which I can say 100% led to the point where I can, my idea had an angel investor in less than 5 months, I can say.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, especially even with Peter's idea with the music. I mean, it's most of these solutions helps our small businesses and have a potential to grow. So it's quite interesting to see how each one of you, after the Beemathon, really went forward and tried to put it into the market. So I want to also ask a couple of things. like in terms of, let's say, maybe I'll ask about the Jude. Have you tried it? Like, how many would you say like customers do you have already, or how many people were actually willing to pay for your idea and that you're trying out in the market?
So right now in the market, the way we're trying to approach it is we've done a bit of research and we're trying to see if actually putting it out as our own product is a better venture than trying to sell it to customers. So we're trying to see if it actually makes more sense to give it out for free, but now make more money as you're trying to, as you're getting requests. And also, we can also approach it in a way that we do ad-based revenue. So we could try and approach it in a Spotify kind of way model. We are doing the financials for that right now, so we are trying to see which way goes best.
Right. Interesting stuff. So I just want to maybe just go a little back. If you were to, let's say right now, from the experience that you've had with the Beemathon and putting your feet into the market, maybe I could put this question out to Robert. What would you say, like, if you're to do anything different now, what will you do if you're to be like, okay, now there's another Beemathon and there's another challenge like this? How would you, like, what do you do different now from your experience?
Okay, from experience, I think what I'll do, I'll try to, just as a challenge, try to incorporate all the Beem APIs into one application and see how it works. Yeah, that would be, I think that would be a challenge I would love to do. Yeah. So that, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, so just so you want to challenge yourself to come up with a solution and use that every single API.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
The more APIs, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better that way.
Okay. Yeah, I also think so. Like, I mean, like, the world of API economy, so you can build beautiful solutions by just using APIs and
exactly.
coming up with a good thing.
Yeah.
How about you, Peter? What would you do differently in life if you were to come up with if you were to, I mean, go back and do another challenge like a Beemathon challenge? What would you do differently when using APIs? I mean, if there's an API challenge again.
I think we gave it our best from the get-go, and I think the only thing I would change is maybe try and actually also incorporate as more Beem APIs, and also try and make the new application more user-friendly, and see how Beem can actually assist with this kind of solution.
An interesting point. Who did I leave out? Okay. I think like the time is going by, so I would just want to. I think if any of the judges can give some feedback. I'm not seeing anyone that come up. Also, if you have any other questions for the any general questions, or if you got a specific question to one of the Beemathon winners, you can just post it up in the chat box as well. So I just want to speak about maybe Tar can speak about the general feedback and on the submissions that we received from the Beemathon. Just some. Okay, I think Belinda put her hand up. Maybe she wants to speak.
Yeah, Belinda, why don't you go ahead and give us your feedback as a judge?
Yeah, as a judge.
Thanks for joining us, Belinda.
Thank you very much. It's good to see a good number on the call on a Friday evening. Thank you, winners, for sharing your ideas. Congratulations are in order. Hongereni sana. It was a pleasure to be part of the judging panel. where we were able to read through your ideas and see through your code. It was interesting to see that you could come up with something given the time. A few pointers on what we observed and what you could take as you proceed forward in coding or creating solutions. I would say in a competition, it's very, very important for you to understand what you're competing for. So look at time and find ideas that would fit into the category. So if you had other ideas, try, if you want to win, try to stay within the margins of the competition and what directives were given. Something else that I noted, or we noted with the fellow judges, was you had amazing ideas, but you only looked at the technical bit. Now, these solutions, yes, they're technical solutions, but they're for small and medium-sized enterprises. So the customer should be at the center of whatever you're creating, because I don't think you're just creating technical solutions for fun. You want people to use. So as you create, ensure that you have a clear and very simple customer journey, because today we understand how we are impatient. You want to click something and you want a solution. You don't want to go 10 steps. What are the 3 quick steps for me to get what I want? If I want to buy, maybe I just want 3 clicks away. So let's think through about the customer as we are creating. Something else that I wanted to say is we have so many problems for the small scale businesses or startups or small scale, small and medium enterprises. So invest in research, understand our market and create solutions to fit that market. Yeah, and the last thing is I can see there's like 14 of us on the call. Where are the ladies? Don't you have friends, classmates, people you could partner with? So, well, let me just remind you that the world is created half men and women. So ensure that every time you're creating, have a woman on the table, and not just because you have to balance gender, but because women see things, they have a great way to influence ideas. If you want sales to go up, so think through how you can have a dynamic and diverse team in future. With that, asanteni sana, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Appreciate the feedback. So let me just share. Yeah, so, thank you everyone for participating and joining the call. Just to give more feedback from what we observed and what the other submissions look like. We had about 40 submissions in total. I think a lot more people participated, but only 40 kind of finally did a submission at the end. And the submissions varied, some were e-commerce kind of concepts, some were very techy and kind of libraries for specific languages, which didn't really fit the challenge description. And then we had some really interesting solutions like the winners that you talked to. In general, I think Belinda mentioned that usability and kind of focusing on the customer and really making it relevant to the challenge. These were things that needed to be kept in mind. I think Robert wanted to use all the APIs, and I think what we found is that the submissions that tried to use too many APIs in one go didn't do as well, and they didn't score as high because because of the time frame and having to submit something that is working and usable. It's probably better that you focus on 1 or 2 APIs and really get it to work really well and focus on the experience and everything to get customer experience and everything together. And like Belinda mentioned again, teamwork. This is the folks that had teams did better. And of course, having women and a more diverse team helps to make your solution better in all aspects, not just with Beemathon. So these were some of the kind of other key takeaways from the Beemathon challenge. Actually, the idea for this talk and this series came from the judges, Belinda and some of the other judges. Actually, we discussed about this, that this should be a forum to kind of talk through these submissions and kind of help developers improve their solutions, and obviously leverage the Beem APIs better. So I definitely encourage all developers, if you're looking to work on your solution, enhance your solutions, if you had submitted something or you're working on something better, come talk to us to see how we can support you get your product to market, use our APIs better. So really we see solutions that are in the market and kind of leveraging Beem APIs, and not just in Tanzania and beyond Tanzania, right? Because the Beem APIs are available across multiple markets. And really excited to see Evans's solution getting some traction and some investor interest. So that's really great to hear, that the Beemathon kind of helped in that process. Happy to answer any questions before we talk about the Developer Champion program. Were there any questions from the participants? Frank, no questions so far?
Okay, so far I think some of the questions have been answered already, but maybe I'll just I think one there's the lady that just mentioned, Robbie from the JukePi team. So there are some lady developers and people participating on the call today. Also, there's a question about I think maybe I can ask this to maybe I can put up to the JukePi team. There's a question about how are you going to make ideas reach society and become more popular like other apps? So this is basically like how to gain more user buy-in for their apps. So it'll be interesting to hear maybe for other apps that are more consumer facing, like maybe the JukePi.
So on our end, as I mentioned before, we're trying to find the way to reach into this market as in the best way possible. And as I had mentioned before, we are trying to give this out for free and actually just make revenue through advertisements or any other way you can make revenues. But to get it out, everyone loves something that is free. So if you put it out there for free for organizations, for SMEs, for these small restaurants, small bars who have been losing customers day in, day out due to this COVID situation, then so many people will be willing to give you the buy-in as compared to actually going to sell your solution to them. So we are trying to see how and if it's financially making sense to take this product to restaurants for free and then find another way to make revenue out of the product.
Right, yeah, okay, that's really interesting. So I think for the interest of time, okay. Can anyone hear me? I think I do.
Yes.
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 Sure. So I think for the interest of time,
Yeah, let me just describe the Developer Champion program in case there's any more questions in the process.
all right. Yeah, so maybe Tal, can you speak a little bit about the Developer Champion program that we have? Definitely there's a lot of developers on this call. So yeah, maybe Tal, can you speak about the program and how?
Yeah, so the Developer Champion program basically is we wanted to kind of enable developers. And what we came up with is this concept of giving projects to developers. So the idea really with the Champion program is that it's a certification program. And if you have used at least 2 of our APIs and can showcase that you've used 2 of our APIs, then we certify you as a developer champion. And in fact, most of the Beemathon participants got certified as developer champions because they had used at least 2 APIs. And the idea then is that we will put you into our champion database. And then when customers come to Beem, SMEs, enterprises that want to integrate with the Beem APIs but don't have maybe the technical capabilities to do so, we then refer those customers to the developer champions. So the idea here is to really enable the developers and grow the community around the Beem APIs. And I'll actually share a video with one of our champions who kind of describes his experience. So let me just share screen this video. Hopefully everyone can see the full screen.
Yes, I can see.
I'm a software developer at a startup called Iraq. At Iraq, we build custom support solution for business from small to large. And one of the cloud projects that we have is called Rocket. It's a software that helps you to manage yourself from a mature state, like if it's a war or it's in progress. And we give you insights on how you're performing well, which product is selling more, and it's also what team members access to that solution. So what that means is the application for the registration. That means a integration that will help them spread more information to their customer base. Saving integration for selling their items. So it gives me opportunity to work with different businesses, different topics. And I think that portfolios. And 2 of them, well, so the first one was a USSD application for the registration students who want to enroll in different courses. And the second one was SMS integration. So it was an existing platform that helps farmers in different aspects. Fast and transparent. And secondly, support whenever it gets stuck or tested. To get registered for from that, you have visa to submit. Experience integrating so every started with SMS API integrating this API that I have. It's mostly sample code and I moved to the USSD application. They have a simulator in the API implementation, so it was really easy to do something that will actually work.
Thank you, everyone. I think Frank's posted the video, the YouTube link to the video as well. So yeah, if anyone has any final questions, any feedback on the Beemathon or this event, that we can answer that before we wrap up.
Nothing from my end.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. And
okay, thank you very much, Frank. I think we can wrap up. You're muted, Frank.
Oh, sorry, I just realized. Yeah, so I think thank you for everyone, and thank you for all the Beemathon winners for participating. And for everyone else that's coming to listen on the call, I know it's a Friday night, and I guess it could be anywhere else, but you came to be with us. So, and we're happy for that. Yeah, so let's just keep on growing the community. Beem, we're always here. We're always ready to listen. We are ready to help you put your ideas out there into the market. If you need support, like we're there, especially with the developers. And also opportunities with the Developer Champion, because we deal a lot with SMEs and many small companies and also big companies, enterprises that need developers to develop especially innovative solutions. So they need someone to come in, maybe to help them code. So that's not our core business, but then we want to help the developers also take that opportunity, because companies are trusting us. So we would like to pass on that trust to the developers, so that you could work with Beem and help the organizations achieve their goals as well. So thank you so much for joining us. I think most of the questions have been answered in the chat box, and we'll have a recording of this, and we'll post it up on YouTube. And also there's a feedback I'll post on the chat. There's a blog post that describes some of the feedback that we have from the Beemathon, and you can use this for your own personal feedback, and also what you can do going forward, and kind of the lessons learned from this whole experience with the Beemathon. And we'd like to make this an ongoing thing, especially with these dev chats. So if you have any ideas on what topics we can discuss and what we want to speak about, please feel free to share with us. You can post in on the chat box, or you can email us. I'll just put my email there into the chat, and you can share some ideas that you want to discuss. We want to make this an ongoing thing and build the community around this, especially the developers. Yeah, so yeah, asante ni sana.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Asante.
Ante.